And now to the latest on the Vallow Daybell trial. You may recall she's accused of murdering two of her children and her husband's ex-wife. Yesterday, her only surviving child took the stand in Boise, Idaho. Colby Ryan told the prosecution how his mom, Vallow Daybell, would not tell him where the family moved. And when prosecutors showed pictures of siblings J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, he began to cry. Well, they also played this phone call that he had with his mother after his siblings' bodies were found buried.
I thought I could trust you. I thought that you were a completely different person. I don't know a murderous mother.
CBS News national correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti has been following the trial. He joins us now. Jonathan, tell us what else we heard from Colby Ryan on the stand yesterday.
Hi, Lana. In addition to that audio clip you just played, at one point on that same recorded line, Colby Ryan gets even more direct with his mother, saying, quote, "You murdered my siblings." Colby offered a very unique perspective of Lori Vallow, describing her as once upon a time ago, a loving, doting mother of JJ and Tylee Ryan. Very protective of her children, he described while on the stand. And then he also described a woman who went through a very noticeable change sometime in the summer of 2019, shortly after she met Chad Daybell, then at the time best known as an author of doomsday novels, preparing for the end of the world. As Ryan described, his mother, Lori Vallow, then became obsessive with trying to plan for these doomsday scenarios. Of course, at one point, she disappeared along with JJ and Tylee. Ryan has been very vocal about not knowing where the children and his mother left. They were back in Arizona at the time, and then they resurfaced, of course, in Rexburg, Idaho, where Chad Daybell lived. It took many months before Colby Ryan was able to track down where his mother was. And of course, we now know what happened, at least where JJ and Tylee were discovered in the backyard of Chad Daybell's house.
And Jonathan, do we know anything more about how Lori responded to seeing her only surviving child testify?
Yeah, according to reporters who were in the courtroom at the time, and again, this is a trial that is not being covered by television crews. The judge did not want TV cameras inside, but reporters saying that you could see Lori Vallow whispering the words, "my baby," as Colby Ryan took the stand. Colby did not make any eye contact with Lori during all of this. We don't know what is going on inside Lori Vallow's mind as this trial continues, though we can say last week at one point, as a detective was laying out the very grisly details of how the remains of JJ and Tylee were found, Lori, at the request of her lawyer, asked to be released from court during that discussion. Ultimately, the judge declined that request.
And Jonathan, where does the trial go from here? Who do we expect to hear from in court today?
So currently we're hearing from Detective Juck Kusadis, who is a detective with the Rexburg Police Department. This is the town where JJ and Tylee were found. He played a pivotal role early on, back at the time when JJ and Tylee were still missing, trying to trace down the financial path of Lori Vallow and where money was coming and going from. The prosecution at this point is really trying to build a motive, saying first Lori was potentially driven by these doomsday scenarios, but also driven by money, Social Security money, and even life insurance. We're going to hear a little bit more from the detective today. As for who we hear in the days to come, that we don't know, because a sealed witness list, which is what we expect to continue to remain sealed, is the case today and perhaps moving forward. So it's really at this point anyone's guess who takes the stand later on today and moving forward.
Really disturbing stuff. All right, Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you for following this and updating us.
Thank you.